Back in action here on this windy day in Dayton, Tennessee for Game 2 of the series between the Bryan Lions and the Marian Knights. J.D. McCurry on the mound for the Lions. Leading off for the Knights is Braden Coffey. Knights won Game 1 by a big margin. Lions trying to rebound right here. Two balls and one strike to Coffey to start this game off. Ball 3. Swung on and missed. That'll bring the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff batter of Game 2. Hit high in the air. Center field's going back. Stradley going back. That ball is off the warning track. And that's going to be at least 3 bags to lead this game off. I'll tell you this. I lost it and Stradley lost it because he was looking for it for a while. I didn't see it to tell how deep it was, and he couldn't tell off the bat either. And anything today, play deep. If you weren't with us or just tuned in, this is an incredibly windy day today. I would guess 40 miles plus wind, and it's not gust. It's just constant. And so that's why we saw 11 home runs in Game 1, 9 by the Knights. As River Pacines takes strike 1. Strike 2 to Pacina. And that ball was hit up in the air and just kind of kept going there. Hit hard to third base through the hole. That's going to be a single for Pacina and score a run. So Knights pick up where they left off in Game 1 by scoring runs. They're up 1-0. And because of this win, we lost our tent. And because we lost our tent, you probably can expect to hear a lot of wind noise on my microphone. So I apologize for that. That's all I hear in my ears right now. Fouled back. 0-1. Hector Corona, the batter. Breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-2. McCurry, a freshman out of Whitwell, Tennessee, Whitwell High School, where he had a dominating high school career. That ball be up. 1-2. Comes with a lot of promise here to Bryan and taking the mound Game 2 of his college career. Or second start of his college career. Hit hard to shortstop, bobbled by, can't make a play by Cyrus Campos. Runner's going to third. Here's the play. He's going to be in there safely. So error on Campos. There's going to be runners at second and third. Not off to a good start for the Lions so far in Game 2. It's going to bring up Aiden Kerr. Kerr takes first pitch for a strike. Up high for a ball to Kerr. Got Kerr, one of the new faces we are seeing in this lineup from Game 2. 3 or 4 new batters going to get their chance here. 1 ball, 1 strike to Kerr. Inside, ball 2. In there for a strike, evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hit high in the air to right field. Going back is Cook. He's going toward the line. He will make the catch. Runners both tagged, so one will score and the other will advance to third. And that'll be the first out of the inning and score another run for the Knights. That's going to bring up your first baseman, Seth Hogg. Hogg had a pinch hit appearance in game 1 and got the most of it with a home run. So he'll get his chance to start here in game 2 as he takes ball 1 outside. One 0 pitch swung on and missed. Strike 1. One the count to Hogg. McCurry with the delivery. In there for strike 2. McCurry working from the stretch with a runner at third and 1 out. Coach Day will bring the infield in here with 2 strikes. That ball's low for a ball, or he'll bring the backside infield in. Campos will play normal depth. The 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. McCurry strikes him out for the second out of the inning. Great job of getting the strikeout with a runner at third base with less than 2 outs. That's going to bring up Johnny Roeder, the left fielder. Johnny, a new name in the lineup from game 1. First pitch swinging. Strike 1. 0-1 pitch, low for a ball. McCurry, the lefty, has good stuff. Will strike guys out. The key for him is keeping his pitch count down, as that ball helps that cause for strike 2. I know the Lion coaching staff wants McCurry to stay in the game as long as he can. That ball's hit sharply to third base. Stopped by Denaj Williams. Great play. Gets up and throws it, but can't make a accurate throw, as that will get past the first baseman, Terry, and score a run. Williams with a diving play and was able to make the stop, but rushed a little bit on the recovery and threw it up the line a little bit. So another run will score for the Knights. That's 3-0, which is one better than how they started the first inning in the last game. That's going to bring up Elijah Kelly, the second baseman, who will take strike 1. Oh, 1 count. McCurry will keep the runner close at first with a pickoff move. Not a bad count to run in right here. Smart move by McCurry as he picks again. The runner goes. Terry's going to have to get rid of it quickly. He's going to throw it into left field. So great job of J.D. McCurry of being very aware of situational running right there. I don't know if that was a called from the watch or if that was just on his own. Either way, great pickoff move, but Terry in a rush to get rid of it, threw it a little bit low, and we'll have a runner at second base with 2 outs. 0-1 pitch to Kelly. Outside for a ball. McCurry checks the runner at second. Delivers, fouled back to the right side. 1-2. One-two delivery, swung on, fouled back. We'll do it again. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the first, swung on, ground ball to third base, going to be foul. Just out of the reach of the diving Denaj Williams as well. So Elijah Kelly with a good AB, battling a few pitches off with 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 pitch inside for a ball. 2-2 the count. Two pitch, strike 3 called, and that'll get him out of the inning, but not before some damage is done. 3 runs on 3 hits and 2 errors. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Lions trail. back in action here in the bottom of the first. On the mound for the Knights is Evan Cook. His battery mate will be Aiden Kerr, as Cyrus Campos will lead things off of this game. Campos moving up to the one spot for this game after batting 9-hole in last. Up high for a ball. Evan Cook looks to be a hard-throwing righty. Don't have a radar gun up here, but it looks to be every bit of 90 from my perspective. But to be honest, even though I coached for 22 years, I don't honestly have a great visual radar gun. So, and I'm a pretty good ways away from the field. So it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. The payoff pitch to Campos. Swung on and fouled straight back our way. It's going to be over our heads and in the parking lot. So we'll reset and do it again. Three balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter for the Lions here in the bottom of the first. That's going to be low. They're going to check the swing, but he's down first base side, and so I don't think you're going to get the call there. So Campos will be aboard with a leadoff walk. It probably would have been pretty close if we had a 3-man crew here. And Coach Miller for the Knights feels like that should have been called by the home plate umpire. At least I'm speculating that's what his conversation is. That'll bring up Jaron Morris, the catcher, in the 2-hole with Campos aboard. Morris with one of the Lions' home runs in the first game will take strike 1. It'd be great if the Lions could answer with at least a run here. That ball's outside for strike 2. Looks like Cook's going to come with a hard fastball and a sharp slider. Swung on and hit out to right field. Incoming the right fielder. Out going the second baseman. He's going to make the play. That's going to be Kelly with the grab out of the second base position. That's going to be out number 1 of the inning. It's going to bring up Caleb Ramsey. I'd say we could see some action on the bases right here with Campos being a base stealer. High heat right there for a ball. A lot of times the pattern in NAI is you throw your hard throwers in the 7-inning game. A lot of times they have maybe a little bit more trouble with extending, or maybe they only have 2 pitches that they work with as that ball's fouled off. And so you kind of see that pattern in the NAI. I would say the Lions are doing it right here with J.D. McCurry. A lot of times the 9-inning game has your multiple pitch guys. Maybe more of a strike thrower that you can go deeper in the game with. 1-1 the count to Ramsey. Not a bad pitch to run on, although you got to wonder if Cook has an off-speed pitch that he throws to left-handed hitters, and that may be a concern. Runner stays up high for a ball. That would have been a great pitch to throw a runner out at, or at least make the attempt, so good call there of not going. until you see an established changeup or him trying to put his breaking ball in the dirt, it's going to be a little tougher to run. Ramsey hits a ball high to left field, incoming out, out. Shortstop will make the grab. I'm about 30 feet elevated from the field from my viewpoint, and sometimes, and I've, 22 years of watching games from the dugout, sometimes it's tough to tell right off the bat exactly where it is coming from here. I thought that was off the bat a little deeper than it was, but as it turns out, it's going to be grabbed by the shortstop Coffee. So we'll have 2 outs with a runner at first, and I would very much expect some action on the bases here as Cade Cook swings at the first pitch he sees for strike 1. 0-1 pitch outside for a ball. The only issue with stealing is Cook is pretty quick to the plate. He throws hard, and right now he has been living pretty steadily with his fastball, showing a few hard sliders as well, but it's not the ideal pitcher to run on, as that one's called for strike 2, and he does stick with the fastball. Probably expect to take a chance here anyway, though. The runner goes. Cook swings and miss, strike 3, so that will end the inning for the Lions. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the second, 3-0 Knights. Back in the top of the second. Ball 2, Uterback. Inside for ball 3. And that's going to be a 4-pitch walk to start the inning for the Knights. That's going to bring up Judah Hennessy, the right fielder this game. Hennessy, the transfer from IU Kokomo. And McCurry will start him off with a strike. Up high for a ball. Evens count 1-1. kind of feel. I don't know if there's a hard one for Coach Day, but certainly don't want him to go too deep too early this year. He plans to pitch a lot of innings for the Lions this year, as that ball is called for strike 2. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. Any guy that you kind of think might go 70-plus innings or so, you want to limit them a little bit early so they can be strong late. McCurry eyeing the runner, the payoff pitch. Swung on and fouled straight back. Count remains 3-2. Payoff pitch again. Called strike 3, breaking ball. Great pitch by J.D. McCurry, as Hennessy was certainly expecting another fastball because he knew he didn't want to walk the first 2 guys of the inning. So fantastic job of a pitch call and fantastic execution by McCurry as he'll strike out Hennessy, and that'll bring back to the top of the order for Braden Coffey. Coffey started this game off with a triple to center field that I think if we had seen it, and I say we because it was myself and Stradley and probably several others off the bat, it could have been caught, but landed at the base of the wall as that ball is called a ball, even though it was the same right down the middle breaking ball as what struck out Hennessy. 1-1 count, up high for ball 2. Runner with not a big lead at first. Ground ball to third. Denaj Williams is going to go over his glove into left field. Runner will stay at second base. So that's going to be an error on Williams. That's going to bring up River Pacina. With runners at first and second, still a double play situation. That's going to be hit into soft, shallow right field. That's going to fall for a base hit. In comes Cook. He's going to throw to third, even though it was the right call to throw to third. But what they didn't see is the runner tripping around the bag at third. And if we had thrown home, we would have got him. But Cook had already released the ball, and that, again, was the right move. You can't expect the runner to trip. He would have been safe if he hadn't tripped. But that will score a run for the Knights. And that's going to bring up Hector Corona. So still double play situation for the Lions. It'd be great to turn one here and get out of this inning, get back at the plate. That ball is hit deep into right center field. That's going to be tough to stay in the ballpark, and it won't, as Corona smashes that one for a 3-run home run to keep this scoring going for Marian. You know, you never know about teams from year to year. Last year, Marian was certainly a good team, but didn't produce the offense that we are seeing today. And this is probably a good omen for Coach Miller and the Knights to start this season, as they are putting a lot of runs on the board. First pitch strike to Aiden Kerr. That's going to be inside for a ball. Morris thought it would have caught the corner, but didn't get the call from the veteran umpire Ed Knight in all his wisdom. 1-1 the count, up high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Outside for ball 3. If pitch count was a concern, it's been validated so far in the second inning. As Morris thought that should have been called a strike as well. And that one's outside. When you don't get the close ones, it's tough. So second walk of the inning for McCurry. That'll be runner at first base. Still one out for Seth Hogg. As Jordan Day will make a mound visit. We can't see the bullpens here at center field. They're behind left field and right field wall. So unless we see somebody go down the line, I really have no way to tell if there is action in the bullpen. I would assume with a mound visit here, there's at least going to be action soon in the bullpen if there's not already. Hogg struck out in the first. I know McCurry and the Lions would like to duplicate that here, or at least get a ground ball double play. Oh, pitch to Hogg up high for a ball. Looked like a good pitch there, but also got a ball call. Knight, not the most consistent of umpires. His strike percentage is one of the lowest in the league here in the AC, or his called correct percentage. So both teams are going to have to deal with it, as that one looks like it was pretty close to a strike as well, but not called. So 3 balls and no strikes on the scoreboard, possibly 1 ball and 2 strikes in reality, but that's where we stand with 1 out here in the second. Another close one called ball. Morris and Knight having some words as they whisper to each other. And I agree with Jaron. Runners at first and second, 1 out. That'll bring up Johnny Roeder, the left fielder. Called strike. Got some chirps from the crowd. McCurry checks the runners. 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 2. Want to keep the pitch count low, but want to make a good 0-2 pitch right here. So McCurry delivers. Great 0-2 pitch inside, just missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Probably a little in on that if it had been about 1 inch toward the plate. Roeder wasn't swinging. Outside for ball 2. McCurry picks at second base, back safely. McCurry with the arm side spin. Don't see that a ton, but very accurate with that throw. A great tag by Curcio. So if that's the move we can expect from him, it's a pretty good one. He got it to the bag quick. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Foul tipped back to the backstop. Count remains. Curry wants a new ball. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but this wind is wild here on campus today. As it is, that flag is at attention, like it's frozen. 2-2 pitch, swung on, hit left field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. In comes Ramsey. They're going to send the runner, and Ramsey will bobble it a little bit so the runner will score easily. And the Lions have had their defensive woes so far this series. I don't know that he was going to have a chance to make a play at the plate. But that will score a run, and it is 8-0 Knights. Runners at first and second, one out. Foul back, out of play. Or foul back into the net, rather. 0-1 the count. Lions just having a little bit of trouble catching rhythm here on this Friday, this windy Friday. Windy and getting colder by the minute. As that ball misses for a ball. One the count. There's the pitch in there for strike two. One-two pitch. Swung on, hit into right field. Cade Cook's under it, and he will make the catch for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Roman Oderbach. Swung on and missed. Looked like a changeup. A little outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch to Oderbach in there for strike two. If you want to know how hard the wind's blowing, I just had to hold my computer down from blowing away. There's nothing safe. Curry will step off and reset. Try to make a good pitch on this 1-2 count. Get out of the inning. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike three. So that will end the inning for the Lions. 5 runs for the Knights. We'll be back in the bottom of the second. Leading off the bottom of the second for the Lions will be first baseman Zach Terry. Terry in his third year with the Lions getting the starting nod this year. Certainly one of the hardest workers in terms of his dedication to the batting cage, and he brings a lot of power to the lineup, which is what they're needing right now. And he swings a powerful bat right there, but fouls it back and out of play. Oh, 1 pitch, or excuse me, 1-1 pitch will be outside for ball 2. Two-one pitch, slider in there for a strike. Evan Cook showing a hard fastball and hard slider so far in this game, as he goes with a slider to strike Terry out during that at bat. That'll bring up the third baseman, Denaj Williams. Up high for a ball. Start the count to Williams. One ball and one strike to Williams. Misses high, ball 2. Foul tipped out of the glove for strike 2. Not sure if Cook is going to show slider to left-handed hitters. We probably will see if he does this pitch right here. As he throws something that looks like off speed. It's hit softly to shortstop. It's going to be misplayed just briefly by Coffey, and that'll get Denaj Williams aboard with one out here in the second. Up high for ball 1. I would say Williams is a threat to steal, and you never know, but 8-0. Probably looking to play a little bit conservative early in the game here of this 7-inning contest. Here's the pitch in there for strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. One pitch to Curcio in there for strike 2. And I'd be very surprised if he doesn't go back to that hard slider out and away, or low and away. He does, but it's in the dirt. Williams will take second on the pitch on a great dirt ball read. So we will have a full count to Curcio. Three-two pitch inside for ball 4. That'll put Curcio aboard with Williams at second and Logan Stradley at the plate. Stradley struck out a few times in the first game, but also hit a home run. And he certainly provides that power in this lineup. Now would be a good time to cut this lead right here. As that's up high for a ball. One 0 pitch to Stradley. That's at his head, and he got out of the way somehow. Like I said, Cook is a hard thrower, and when it's coming right in your noggin, it's not easy to duck, but that's what he did. So with the 2-0 count, that's going to bring a mound visit to try to settle Cook down a little bit. Tough to tell without jerseys, but I think this is the pitching coach, Jordan Nelson, with the visit. Just hoodies on this chilly day. Could be Todd Miller. So 2-0 count to Stradley. He's looking for one pitch in one spot. That's probably a little bit about what the conversation was regarding on the mound visit. Make sure you make a good 2-0 pitch here. That ball is hit hard into left field, but that's going to be foul. And I'll tell you this, he was looking for one pitch in one spot. He got his one pitch in one spot. It was just a little out in front of it. If he had straightened that out, we'd have a 3-run swing right there. Instead, it's a 2-1 count. In there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We got it chirping from an area of the field that I trust, and so I would say that was not a strike. The ball's inside for a ball. Surprised they didn't call that one a strike. As I mentioned earlier, one of the lowest percentages ball strike in the league, according to Stattronics for Ed Knight. And that ball is going to be called strike 3. And that one did look like a strike. So 2 outs here in the inning. That's going to bring up Morgan Halladay as he takes ball 1. Halladay doing the designated hitting for the Lions in this game. Up high for ball 2. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Typically, a Lion offense has a green light right here. I don't know that they do with runners at first and second in this score. And he will take all the way, and that's strike 1. But certainly looking to get a pitch in this count and do some damage is Halladay. 3-1 pitch. Called strike 2. Halladay was trotting to first base. Knight doesn't like that as he stares Halladay down in his infinite wisdom. So we got a 3-2 count with 2 outs here. Runners go, and that ball is going to be called a ball. So Halladay draws the walk. That's going to roll us back over to the top of the lineup and Cyrus Campos. So bases loaded for Campos with 2 outs here. First pitch called strike. I don't agree with that one. If you couldn't tell by now, me and Ed Knight weren't best friends when I coached. And that was inside. Luckily called a ball. One count. Swung on and missed. 1-2. One-two pitch to Campos. Outside for ball two. Up high, ball three. So with the bases loaded, runners will be in motion on the pitch. Foul ball. They'll do it again. That typically means a base hit's guaranteed to score two. As Campos tries to win this battle in a crucial moment here early in this game. Up high, ball three, so he will walk a runner in. As Williams crosses the plate and Campos heads to first. Great at bat by Cyrus Campos. And add the RBI. That's going to bring up Jaron Morris, the catcher. First pitch swinging. He was looking fastball. He got a slider. And he sold out. Probably looking to double up here again is Cook. And he does. And this time Morris will spit on it. So great adjustment by Morris. 1-1 pitch. Hit softly into right field. In comes the right fielder. He's going to camp and make the play, so that'll end the inning. So only one run for the Lions, and they trail 8-1 going into the third. No, he sucks.
And I'm about to beat you, and I'm about to yell. I'm about to like.
I'll tell you this. Seen our best. You've seen our best. Got a timeout on the field with Jordan Day checking on Cyrus Campos. Not sure what it is, but looks like he's hobbling around a little bit. That's going to bring in Jarrett Scott to play third base. Denaj Williams will move over to shortstop. As the Knights are off to a hot start, not only in this game, but in the inning, hitting 2 home runs to start the third. We have no outs. It's 10-1 Marian. Up to bat is River Pacina. One 0 pitch by Leakey down the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike. Excuse me, 1 ball, no strikes. 1 ball, no strikes. That ball is hitting the center field. Back goes Stradley, giving chase at the warning track. That's going to be the 3rd home run of the inning for the Knights, as this thing is becoming a home run fest for the boys in blue. And that's going to bring a mound visit by Jordan Day and possibly a change. No motion to the bullpen yet, but he's at least going to talk and say, hey, get back in this thing, 1 pitch at a time, 1 batter at a time. This is one of those moments as a coach where you don't have any golden nuggets of wisdom to say, but you do want your guys to know, hey, we're still playing. We're playing hard. Make every pitch like it's a 1-run game. And sometimes that's tough. It's tough for young guys to kind of get on board with that, but at the same time, stuff like this can bring growth if you let it. And that's what Coach Jordan Day is hoping for here in this moment, as there is still a lot of baseball left to go in this game. It's only the top of the 3rd. So the Lions, with only 2 ABs under their belt, still have a lot of swings left in them. But that's going to bring up Hector Corona. First pitch down low for a ball to Corona. Ball 2. In there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Very young team for this Lions lineup. Looking at freshman at third, freshman at short, sophomore at second, sophomore behind the plate. Big future, but may have some growing pains. Like I just mentioned, moments like these, scores like these, it can help you grow if you let them. And I can tell you that if there's anyone that's going to drive this team to find a way around this obstacle, it's head coach Jordan Day. Not the start they wanted to this season or this series after actually playing a really good series with Georgia Gwinnett last week, the number 2 team in the country, as that ball's chopped to first base foul. On Friday doubleheader, a 1-run game and a 2-run game against the Grizzlies, who have been to, I believe, 5 World Series in a row. So not necessarily indicative of what's going on today. Sometimes you just have those days. Leakey's pitch high for ball 4. So that'll walk Corona and bring up Aiden Kerr. Oh, pitch to Kerr. In there for a strike. Strike 2 to Kerr. One thing I'll say about the man on the mound right now, Bryce Leakey, giving up back-to-back home runs, he is a resilient guy and can battle and be relatively unfazed by this and go back to work. And that's his personality, is that one's hit sky high in the infield. Denaj Williams under it, he will make the grab, and that shows that resiliency by Leakey right there. Not a guy that's going to wear his emotions on his sleeve, but also not a guy that's necessarily going to get deep into his emotions in a 10-run game. So great job of him by getting the first out of the inning. Runner first base. That's going to bring up Seth Hogg. Hogg takes strike 1. Pickoff move to first base, back safely. Oh, 1 pitch in there for strike 2. Leakey relying heavily on his breaking ball in the last couple of batters. Has been able to execute well with it. 0-2 pitch, swung on, hitting the shallow center field. In comes Ramsey, back goes Williams. Williams is going to make the catch in shallow center for the second out of the inning. Runner will stay at first base. And that's going to bring up Johnny Roeder. First pitch to Roeder in there for a strike. So Leakey done a great job so far this inning of battling back after a tough start to pound the zone and get ahead in counts. Especially with his off-speed pitch, hit hard with the third base. Jarrett Scott over to second. That'll be the third out of the inning. And so Lions will go into the bottom half of the third, trailing by 10. Back on Lions Live. Bottom of the third here at center field on campus at Bryan College. Caleb Ramsey will lead off the inning for the Lions, trailing 11-1. First pitch swinging, fouled back and out of play. It's been all Marian night so far in this day, really, as they dominated game one with a lot of offense and kept it going in game two. But the Lions have a lot of firepower in this lineup as Ramsey grounds a foul ball to the right side. As Kenny Knutson makes his way down the road, former Lion great. But like I was saying, you definitely can't count these Lions out. I know 11-1 score feels big, but Ramsey grounds that one to second base. It's going to be bobbled by the second baseman Kelly, and Ramsey will be aboard. But I've seen this offense do great things in the past, and this offense is one of the better ones we've had. And so right now a little bit in a funk, but certainly in there to get going right here as Cade Cook, a leader on this team, the leader wearing number 5, as I glance out at the number 5 banner out in right field with Dante Morton, Cade Cahoon, Parker Cosby, Ty Scott represented as the captains of this team in the past, and now Cook takes ball 1. Ramsey takes his lead at first base. Cook will take that one for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on Cook. Evan Cook, his counterpart on the mound, done a great job of limiting his pitch count so far this game, so the hard thrower can go deeper. At least that's probably the plan by Coach Miller. And he sends that one to the backstop, so it'll be 2 balls and 1 strike. Up high for ball 3. 3-1 the count. On the pass ball, Ramsey went to second. And that ball will miss high as well, so another walk by Cook, and that's going to have runners at first and second for Zach Terry as Kung Fu Panda, or Kung Fu Fighting, plays in the background as his walk-up song, and it's a fan favorite here at the park. Very much speed on the bases for Terry as he swings at the first pitch and fouls it back and out of play off to the right side. I know the Lions, like I said earlier, are trying to be a little conservative, but you got 2+ runners on the base as Terry takes that one for strike 2. So you never know. May put some runners in motion just to stay out of the double play right here. Ramsey not with a big lead at second base. 0-2 pitch inside, ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes, no outs to Zach Terry. Swung on and missed, struck him out on the slider away. It's going to be 1 out in the inning. That'll bring up Denaj Williams. Williams, the lefty, settles in the box. Takes that one high for a ball. I say Williams the lefty. Williams the lefty in this moment. He's actually a switch hitter. Just haven't seen him from the right side today. That ball's low and in the dirt, but stopped up by the catcher, Kerr. So runners will stay put. 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 pitch to Williams in there for strike one. Up high into the backstop, so runners will advance. 3 balls, 1 strike. Now runners at second and third for the Lions, with 1 out here in the third. Base hit, very much needed to cut into this lead and try to post a 0 in the fourth and give them an opportunity to kind of keep chipping away. 3-1 high for ball 4, so another walk by Cook, and that's going to put Williams aboard. So if you talk about speed, Williams at first, Cook at second, and Ramsey at third. You got him on the bases. And that's going to bring up Will Curcio with him juiced. Infield comes in to try to settle down Evan Cook on the mound. Say, hey, just let him put the ball in play. We got a comfortable lead, but never know. Curcio can generate some power himself. The Chipola transfer. So he lays off that pitch for ball 1. Great eye right there as Cook tries to start him off with a slider and just barely misses. In there for strike 1. One the count on Curcio. Ground ball to third base. That's going to be fielded just foul. Hector Corona was standing on the bag, so if he had filled that fair, he probably could have fired it across the first for the double play. But just a few inches foul. So it's going to be a 1-2 count to Curcio. Probably look for something to chase right here. As he does, but Curcio lays off. Counts even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out in the inning. Bases loaded. Swung at and missed as he chased that one upstairs for strike 3. And that's going to be the second out of the inning and bring up Logan Stradley, the center fielder. Curcio's high school teammate. First pitch to Stradley, misses out, ball 1. One 0 called strike, but gets past the catcher, and there's going to be a runner play at the plate, and he's going to be out at the plate on the pass ball that didn't make it to the backstop, so gave the catcher a chance to get back there and make a play as the pitcher covers, and that's a bummer of a way to end the inning with the bases loaded for the Lions, but that's how we do it, and we will go to the fourth with the Lions trailing 11-1. Back in action as we start the fourth inning. Elijah Kelly will be the hitter. Bryce Leakey still on the mound. As Leakey starts him off with a strike. Outside, ball one. One the count to Kelly. Swung on, fouled off his foot. 1-2. Outside for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. To end that last inning, Ramsey got thrown out at the plate. I didn't see the jump, but the ball didn't get far from the catcher. It was a good read as that ball goes into left field for a base hit. It was a good decision to go at least, again, regardless of the jump. It just didn't get far from the catcher, so they were able to make the play to end the inning. And Kelly will start this inning off with a base hit to bring up Roman Utterback. First pitch strike to Utterback. Leakey with the pickoff move, back safely. Swung on and missed, strike 2. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Utterback doesn't offer. Swung on and missed, strike 3, struck him out for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Judah Hennessy, homered in his last at bat. Kelly stays close at first. First pitch low for a ball. Just missed, ball 2. Two balls and no strikes to count, 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Knights lead 11-1. That ball's in there for strike 2, or strike 1, excuse me. One pitch. Just missed. 3 balls, 1 strike. That ball looked like it got every bit of the middle of the plate, but called ball 4. So runners at first and second for the top of the lineup, Braden Coffey, the shortstop. I would assume has some speed at the top of the lineup, so it might be a tough double play candidate. We won't get a chance to see as that ball finds a hole. That's going to be through. There's going to be a play at the plate. Ramsey with a great throw to get him at home for the second out, as that ball was on a rope by Caleb Ramsey, the left fielder, and great snag by Jaron Morris, and make the tag right on the money. So it'll still be first and second here, but now with 2 outs. So that'll bring up River Pacina. Pacina takes that one for a ball. One 0 pitch outside, ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. Just misses outside for ball 3 on Pacina. We'll kind of see a little bit about what style of offense Coach Miller plays here on this 3-0 count if he has him hacking with the 11-1 lead. I would assume they are an aggressive team throughout. He takes that one for a strike. Can't tell if he was going to swing or not. So far, the Knights have played an aggressive brand of baseball, getting their pitch and getting their cuts off. As Pacina fouls that one off for strike 2, 3 balls and 2 strikes. I'm trying to stay out of this wind and not having much luck doing it for your sake out there on the mic. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners will be in motion. Here's the payoff pitch. And it looked like he hit him, or at least it didn't look like it hit him, but the umpire calls that he hit him, so that'll load the bases for Hector Corona. The 3-hole hitter is not probably the guy you want to be up with the bases loaded and the wind blowing out right in his wheelhouse. First pitch to Corona misses outside. Swung on and hit deep into right field, back but looking at the ball leave the yard is Cook and Stradley, as Corona will hit a grand slam here in the 4th. And there is no stopping these Knights right now. What I will tell you about Marian right now is they are hunting their pitch and not missing. And when they get what they want, there's not many missed barrels on this Knights team, and that'll have Jordan Day calling for the bullpen. We'll take a break and tell you who the new pitcher is after this. The new pitcher for the Lions will be Riley Frazier. The batter will be Aiden Kerr. Oh, gosh. Sorry. Sorry. Apologize for that. I'm trying to keep everything in my life on this table as the computer, the camera, everything's trying to blow off. This wind is absolutely howling here on the hill as that ball is outside for ball 2. If you're out there, you love Bryan Lions baseball, and you feel, the Lions need a press box. And I've been fortunate enough in my life to come into some money. We'd gladly welcome any donations, especially right now in these elements for this broadcasting crew. 2-1 count, swung on and missed, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 count to Kerr. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed. Foul tipped. I didn't see the tip, but nobody moved, so I assume everybody was aware of it. So count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. Up high, ball 3. Breaking ball misses for ball 4. So that'll be a walk for Kerr. Bring up the first baseman, Seth Hogg. Frazier goes with the breaking ball in that 3-2 count because that is his pitch, one that he is kind of relies on, and so not a bad call right there, going to his strength, but just misses inside. Up high to Hogg, ball 1. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. In there for a strike, 2 balls, 1 strike. Two one pitch to Hogg. In there for strike 2. Misses for ball 3, full count. Swung on, hitting high in the air to center field. Back goes Stradley, chasing at the warning track. Looks like he's going to have a beat on it, but can't make the play as that bounces off his glove and bounces around the track. They're going to throw it in. 1 run will score, and Hogg will get to third with a triple as that ball just kept on carrying in this wind. Stradley couldn't make the play on it, so that's going to score another run. We'll have a runner at third with 2 outs. It's going to bring up Johnny Roeder. Ball is hit high in the air. Looks like it's headed toward foul territory, and it will. It'll be out of play. A 1 count to Roeder. 2 outs here in the inning. Outside, ball 1. Outside, ball 2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Two-two pitch, missed high and inside. Full count. Payoff pitch outside. We'll walk him. Bring up Elijah Kelly. Ball one to Kelly. Fouled back and out of play. Up high, ball two. Three balls and one strike. In there for strike two. Three-two pitch, strike three. Probably a little generous on the call right there, but that'll get out of the inning. So we will head to the fourth. Back in action here in the bottom of the fourth. Caleb Ramsey will try to get things going for the Lions. Missed outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. High and outside again, 2 balls, 1 strike. Swung on and missed. I apologize. This is Jack Reynolds pinch hitting for the Lions. Reynolds will take strike 3 right there. There is a new pitcher for the Knights, Brady Armstrong, on the mound. Armstrong, the redshirt freshman out of Ohio. That's going to bring up Morgan Halliday. 1 ball and 1 strike to Halliday. Swung on and missed, 1-2. Strike 3 called. Second out of the inning. That'll bring up Jarrett Scott. Outside, ball 1 to Scott. Knight, the home plate umpire, communicating something to the pitcher. What? No, that can't be true. 2 balls and no strikes. They tell me the first pitch didn't count because the music was still playing, but that's not a rule in baseball. So we may have just made up a rule. Ball is hitting the center field. Back goes the center fielder. That's going to be over his head, dropping the warning track. Scott rounding first. He'll head to second. He'll be standing up safely with a double. It's possible the umpire called time that I didn't see, and that's why it didn't count. But if just the music was still playing, that rule would have been made up. Jaron Morris at the plate for the Lions. He takes ball 1. Outside, ball 2. Strike 1. Scott's double, the first hit for the Lions in this contest. Only the 4th inning, just been a long game. That ball is hit sharply down the line. That's going to be a fair ball. Scott will round third, and he will score. Morris will stop at first as the left fielder gets over there quickly and gets it in. 2 outs. We got a runner at first, and that'll bring up Caleb Ramsey. Chris Hall will do the courtesy running for the Lions. Ramsey fouls that one back and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes on Ramsey. In there for strike 2. Excuse me, no balls and 1 strike, and now it's in there for strike 2. Swung on, shot back to the mound, fielded cleanly. He'll run halfway and make the toss, and that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. So we'll head to the 5th. Knights lead. Roman Oderback will be your hitter to lead off the 5th for the Marian Knights. In there for strike 1. Strike 2. Frazier gets in there with the breaking ball. Outside for a ball. Just misses down, I guess. Looked like a good pitch, but count will even 2-2. Up high, ball 3. Outside, ball 4. Oderback will draw the walk. That'll bring up Judah Hennessy. takes that breaking ball for a strike. Looked like it was right down the middle. Called ball. Two one. Breaking ball misses. 3 balls, 1 strike. Foul back. Full count. Three-two pitch struck him out swinging. For the first out of the inning, that's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, Braden Coffey. Fouled back, strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch to Coffey in there for strike 2. Grounded through the hole in the right side. That'll advance the runner to second base with a single from Coffey. That'll bring up River Pacina. Crossed up at the plate. It's going to get past the catcher, Brody Jenner. Jenner in the game for Jaron Morris behind the plate. Morris going to be doing a hefty chunk of the innings behind the plate for the Lions, so opportunity to get him a little bit of a break here going into tomorrow. Runners will move up on that cross up, so runners at second and third, 1 out. 1-0, swung on, fouled back. 1-1 pitch, chopped to the right side. Lane Brooks over, can't make the play. Brooks in for Curcio at second base and bobbles that one. So a run will score, and now we'll have runners at the corners. One ball, no strikes. To the hitter, Tate Bender. Bender pinch hit in game 1 with a home run. That's going to be behind Bender, and that'll get to the backstop. And what you're seeing right now is a little bit of an 18-2 effort right now. And I know Genter just getting in there to catch, but you can feel the energy kind of out of the Lions lineup right now. And it's understandable, but these young guys have got to understand that there is a lot of season left. And one day doesn't make a season, so they got a choice right now of how to respond. As we get strike 1 on Bender. Two 2-1 pitch, outside, ball 3. In there for a strike, 3-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That'll be the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up Aiden Kerr. Strike 1 to Kerr. Called a ball. Even the scoreboard had put a strike up there. Strike 2 to Kerr. Called a ball. It really did confuse me and the scoreboard. I believe it's 2-0. The scoreboard says 1-1. If it was called a strike, there wasn't any motion by the umpire. That one's grounded to shortstop. Grabbed by Williams, thrown across. That's going to be in the dirt and to the backstop, and they're going to stay as they're playing station to station right now. Runners at the corners. And I have a feeling Coach Jordan Day is going to have a few words for his team between innings right here as they're playing representative what the score looks like. It's going to bring up Seth Hogg with runners at the corners and 2 outs. First pitch strike. 1 pitch to Hogg. Up high, ball 1. Missed for ball 2. Three one pitch. In there. Nope. Hogg will draw the walk. Bring up Johnny Roeder. With the bases loaded, 2 outs. Missed up high, ball 1. One pitch to Roeder. Caught the corner, strike 2. Count evens at 2-2. That's going to be ball 4. I had the count wrong. I really thought I saw call a strike on the previous pitch, but Jordan Day is going to go to the bullpen. We'll be back. Ben Zybert in the pitch for the Lions here in the 5th with the bases loaded. 2 outs. Kalen Gick up for the Knights, and that's going to be a pass ball, and we're going to get him out at the plate. So that'll end the inning, and we will head to the bottom half. Jackson Blue at the plate for the Lions. He takes the first pitch hacking. Called strike 2 on Blue, the second year at Bryan transfer from Reinhardt. Missed outside, ball 1. Called strike 3. That's going to bring up another pinch hitter, Caleb McCarty. Swung on, fouled back, left side, out of play. Oh, 1 pitch to McCarty, down low, ball 1. Swung on, grounded to shortstop. Picked up, thrown across. That's going to be high and draw him off the bag, and so McCarty will be safe at first. And I talked a little bit last inning about a little bit of energy lapse in the Lions kind of goes both ways. When you're up big, it's tough to stay locked in as well. Although and this is not an excuse, but I will blame this. It is very cold. It's very windy. It's very easy to get a little bit cold standing out there for both sides. You got to stay locked in order to make a sharp play tonight. But college baseball does play in February, and you got to fight through the elements. Caleb Sturman, the pinch hitter for the Lions, he fouls that one back. Oh, 2 count to Sturman. McCarty at first. Swung on, hitting the center field. Going back on it is the center fielder. And it's going to drop at the warning track. So McCarty will head to third and stop there as Sturman gets a double and gets a little bit of excitement out of the dugout. That's going to bring up another pinch hitter, this time in Lane Brooks, who I say pinch hitter actually went into the game for Will Curcio at second base. Just his first at bat since entering. Brooks, a Ray County native, went hometown Ray County High School here. So he takes strike one. A 1 pitch to Brooks, up high, ball one, count evens. Outside and past the catcher, but we're going to stay at third base. For one, it was tough to tell exactly how far that got from the angle of the third base box and the third base line, but also not trying to do anything unnecessary. Need base hits and multiple runs and multiple base runners. Get something going here, so playing a little conservative. 2-1 to count to Brooks. Taken for strike 2. Called strike 3 on Lane Brooks. That'll be the second out of the inning. That's going to bring back up Jack Reynolds. Called strike 1. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Foul, backing out of play. Inside, ball 1. Fouled back. Stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Reynolds. Swung on a miss, strike 3. They're going to have to throw it down to first, and they do, so that'll get them out of the inning, and we will head to the 6th. Top of the 6th for the Knights. Got River Pacina. Excuse me. Not River Pacina on the mound. Or at the plate. It's going to be Kalen Gick. Excuse me. Kalen Gick. 0-2 count to Gick. Outside for a ball. Zybert's worked him into a 1-2 count. Slider inside just misses. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll be 1 out. Brings up Roman Utterback. Outside for ball 1. Lions chose to use a lot of pinch hitters the last couple innings. Marian pretty much sticking with their lineups. That's strike 1, so 1-1 count. And understand, I can see it from both ways. You want to get guys at bats. You want to see if guys can do it. At the same time, for Marian, first games of the year, they need to get their guys ABs. They're guys that they're going to be counting on for the entirety of the season. And so, regardless of the score, they're going to get them some hacks to get in the rhythm, and I understand that from a coach's perspective. 1-2 count on Utterback. miss, strike three. Zybert's second K of the day, or of the inning. Judah Hennessy to the plate, swinging a miss, strike one. Evens up 1 ball, 1 strike. Off his fist, foul back into the net. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ben Zybert, the senior, originally from Chicago, went to Roane State Community College, been with the Lions for a couple years. Has good stuff. Sometimes pitch count can get a little high, but when he's on, he struck him out right there, so strikes out the side, and he is pitching well tonight. So the Lions will go into the bottom of the 6th trailing. There it is. Evan Robinson will lead off the 6th inning for the Lions. So he takes ball 1. And up high for ball 2. Called strike, 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Fouled harshly almost into the Lions dugout. Two-two pitch outside for ball 3. And Big Kitty will draw the leadoff walk for the Lions to bring up Jarrett Scott. Called strike one for Scott. Grounded to shortstop, turns to second for one, over to first for two, and that'll be the double play for the Knights. Zach Terry at the plate, called strike one. I appreciate my secret admirer on YouTube comments. Not so secret, that's my wife. 0-2 count to Terry. Excuse me, not Terry. Brody Genter. Brody Genter at the plate with a 1-2 count. Genter coming in doing the catching duties for Jaron Morris. That ball will be outside to even the count 2-2. Up high, ball three. Full count on Genter. And that one's outside for ball four, so Genter will take his base and bring up Caleb Ramsey. So from Truitt transfer to another Truitt transfer. Ramsey will try to get something going with 2 outs here for the Lions. Outside, ball one. Up high, ball two. Foul tip on the check swing. 2 balls, 1 strike. Down in the dirt. That'll get past the catcher, so Genter will move up. It's 3-1. The 3-1 pitch to Ramsey, swung on, fouled back, 3-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3, struck him out in the inning. We'll head into the 7th. Top of the 7th for the Marian Knights. Up to bat, I believe, is Philip Amones, the pinch hitter for Marian. As he works a 2-1 count. Swing and a miss with a big hack from Amones, or Amonez. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That'll draw the walk. Bring us back to River Pacina. First pitch swinging for Pacina, fouls it back toward the dugout. Strike 2 called. Swung on but tipped. And that'll keep him alive. Zybert sets in the dirt for ball 1. Outside, ball 2. Just missed outside, ball 3. And brings the count to full count. That'll walk Pacina. That'll bring up Tate Bender for the Knights. Runners at first and second, no outs. Zybert looking for a ground ball double play right here. Strike 1, 1-1 the count to Bender. Hit high in the air to center field. Back at the track is Stradley, or excuse me, that's, and I believe it landed. At first, I thought he caught it. That's not Stradley out there. It may be Jack Reynolds. So we'll have bases loaded for Aiden Kerr. Fouled off, strike one. I'm a long way away from deep center field, so I couldn't tell exactly what happened on that play other than it just kind of went over his head. Two one the count on Kerr. Fouled back and out of play. Count evens at 2-2. Outside, ball three. Swung on and missed, struck him out. Big strikeout by Zybert right there to get things started for the Lions in the seventh. And that'll bring up L.J. Young, the pinch hitter. Young checks his swing. That'll be ball one. Hit high in the air to right field. Coming in is the right fielder, and he will make that grab for the out. I will apologize for not knowing exactly who made that catch out there. There's no way my eyes can see the number or the person from this distance, but we do have a lot of subs in the game. I know McCarty had at bat. That's who it could possibly be in there. Possibly Jackson Ballou out there. O2 count on Johnny Roeder. Check the swing, and he says he went. So that'll end the inning. We'll head back for the bottom of the seventh. Bottom of the 7th, Jackson Blue up for the Lions. First pitch called strike. Second pitch swung on and hit down the right field line. Looks like it's going to get out of play as it almost lands on top of our training staff down there. New pitcher on the mound for the Knights. I'm trying to see the number. That is Cecil Prather. Two balls and two strikes to Blue. Outside for ball 3. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Blue strikes out. That'll bring up Caleb McCarty. McCarty, since coming to Bryan, has spent time on the mound as a left-handed pitcher and spent time at first base, spent time in the outfield. Right now kind of finding his home at the plate. So he checks his swing on that one, but called strike. Swung and missed, strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes. Fouled back and out of play. Count evens at 2-2. Hard hit ball to shortstop, comes up cleanly with it, throws it across. That'll be the second out of the inning. Got to bring Denaj Williams to the plate. Marian only thrown righties so far on the day, so we've only seen Williams from the left-handed batter's box. Swung and missed at that. 1 ball and 1 strike. for a ball. Three balls, one strike to Williams. Williams draws the walk. That'll bring up Lane Brooks. That ball will be high into the backstop, so Williams will advance to second. One 0 pitch to Brooks. Swung and fouled back. One, two. Strike three to Brooks. That'll end it for the Lions on the day. They drop two. Marian improves to 2-0 on the year. We'll be back tomorrow with a brand new day.